Yo, yo, it's your boy JP McFrosty, aka Robert on chess.com and on Xbox. Back on it with another YouTube video. And as you guys know, the last video I uploaded, I had just broken 1300, not short of half a week ago. Well, guess what? I already lost it. But there's good news. So, um, remember how on the last video I basically said that after I got my 1300 I was gonna create a second account. That way I can like warm up on that, like a Smurf sort of deal. I'm not really too concerned if I lose. That way I can just kind of warm up, get razor focus, get all locked in. That way when I'm on a winning streak, I can jump back up into my main, get the point, start getting points for that. Only thing is that last night I played my homie on my main account, one of my good friends of mine, and today at work, I just automatically, like without consciousness, opened up my chess app and fired up a game, not realizing that I was on my main account. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let me send it. Let me get some points on my 1300 account. Let me just firmly, plant my position even harder, get some cushion points, and I ended up losing that. Actually, I even lost like several matches after that. I dropped all the way back down to like 1260, but I was able to get myself back up. The game before this, I went from 1293 to 1301. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just play another game for the heck of it, and let me just really secure my position in 1300. That way, if I do lose, I can have a cushion. And honestly, it's just time to stop being a little, biatch and start playing more boldly and more confident. So this is how the game went. And this game, if I'm making a YouTube video, you already know it's a big deal. It's important. Whether I'm reaching a new milestone or it's just crazy, because this is probably the craziest, most intense converting from a retardedly losing position up into a dub, and also beating my first 1300 player. So you're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna do a full breakdown. Also, I figured out how to draw arrows on the chessboard and also like move pieces around. That way, you guys can have a better visual idea of how it look. Just so you guys can keep up with it better with what I'm narrating. So let's kick off the video. For white, I play Italian. For black, I play Sicilian con. But here in this match, I'm playing Italian. Start off with a good old e4 pawn push, for some center control. He plays Sicilian. I develop my knight. He develops his. I develop my bishop. Just a regular opening. If they don't play the 4 knights defense, then what I'll do is I'll just break open the center. So I'll push my d-pawn out. Exchange some material. Now my queen's in the center. Can be both good and also risky as well. He develops his knight. I develop my knight. So as you can see, I already got 3 active pieces. He's only got 1 plus a pawn. I have my pawn, so I'm definitely way ahead in development. Now, obviously, he's about to. If you've never seen that, that's a clear indicator that he's about to do. He's about to fianchetto his dark square bishop and then castle kingside. So I'm kind of preparing for that, noticing how my queen is on the same line as his rook. And the only thing is just that knight in the way. So I'm brainstorming a plan in my head to where I'm going to basically push this knight up here and then put some pressure onto this knight. So first, let me get my king out the castle. Safety, number 1. Anyways, Yep, he fianchettos his bishop, like I said. Now, I'm just really trying to keep the initiative here, okay? chessgame, a lot of mentors all preach initiative. Always keeping your opponent on their back foot. The best defense is a good offense, right? So basically, I'm just preparing. Like, if he decides to take my knight, then that's going to leave me open to, to take his bishop. Stupid arrow, not working. And then I'll be infiltrated on his king side, I'm already in his back ranks, just going to be eating up all his pieces like Pac-Man. So he's got to be super careful about, not blundering this knight and moving it. So how does he respond? Let's see here. Castle king side. I decide to put even more pressure onto this knight right here. So now, but at the same time too as well, now that he's got his king, he added a defender to his bishop. So even if he does move his knight out the way, I can't really, take his bishop, because then his king will just take my queen back. So my plan decides to take a little bit of a detour. Now he's got a discovered attack on my queen. Also at the same time took my knight, so I'm about to just take his knight back and also, dodge his discovered attack, so that's good. Takes my pawn. Totally didn't see that, but who isn't when their queen's under attack? Now here I was kind of debating on what I should do. Option one is to obviously slide my rook underneath his bishop and attack that, or I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe like normally what I do is if they actually if they do have a fianchettoed setup in front of their king with their bishop, what I like to do is I like to form a battery. So I'll put my queen over here, and then here let me just show you actually. So let's say I don't know. Okay, so I'll put my queen over here, and then let's say he I don't know, pushes his pawn. Maybe he takes my rook or something like that. Then I'll put this bishop over here, and then I'll just be controlling his dark squares. He's gonna slide his rook out the way, but all I need to do is just somehow manage to get my queen, into this little square over here. Or I'm sorry, my arrows into that G7 square, and then that's automatic checkmate. But obviously he's got this bishop on the diagonal, so that's what I typically like to do if they got a fianchettoed setup. But obviously since my rook is under threat, I gotta go take care of that first, So yeah, so basically I just slide my rook over. Not only am I attacking his bishop, but I'm also x-raying it onto his pawn way up here. That way, eventually, if he does ever move his bishop out the way or whatever, then I can get my rook up onto the b7 square, and I can just control his whole rank, So he decides to retreat his bishop back. Now I'm trying to create a hook. So I'm thinking maybe some, pawn takes g6 ideas, or maybe, I don't know, like get this pawn up to h6, just create like that anchor, really, really, really restricting his king's movement and creating a lollipop checkmate threat. A lollipop checkmate is basically when this pawn arrives right there, and let's say if his bishop was not there, and let's say my queen somehow magically arrived right there, boom, lollipop checkmate. I don't know why they call it that. It looks like a sideways crooked lollipop, but whatever. Anyways, put some pressure on my queen, get it out the way, takes, exchange of material, x-rays my queen and pawn, which is kind of annoying. Decide to pull it back, protect my pawn. Over here, he's obviously protecting his 7th rank. I would do the same. Good move. I'm following through with my hook. Hey, when you're in the middle game, remember, if you guys don't know what to do, always break open positions. That's what you got to do. After the opening, if you guys have no idea what to do, pawn storm. Like, begin your assault. Lord of the Rings, Minister to the shit. Gandalf, what's up? Anyways, he creates a battery onto this pawn right here. And I only have one defender, so I decided to slide my my F rook over. Not sure what that did, but I guess he's just making connected pawns. I don't know. But anyways, now I proceed to push my pawn up to h6, attacking his bishop. And now I'm really creating that anchor and really, really controlling this square. A very, very strong position for this pawn to be. If you can get your pawn in this position, I've had this pawn. Having this pawn in position can do so many things for you. You have no idea. Like, you'll forget about it as you can go throughout the rest of the game. But, like, it can literally be a deciding factor when you're in an end game. Both queens are off the board. I've had several times where I end up queening this pawn, or I'm able to get my queen into that g7 square for a lollipop checkmate. You guys have no idea, but if you can somehow manage to get a pawn up here without it getting taken, trust me, it's something. It's like a little back pocket emergency nuclear bomb that you guys can have. So he decides to pull his bishop back. Now here, I'm basically trying to do a checkmate pretty good. He actually only has one response, and if he doesn't make the perfect play, it's gonna be GG's. But essentially, the idea is I push my bishop up here to f6, and it doesn't matter if he takes or if I take, because let's say, for example, he takes, then what's it called? I would just recapture with my queen. at this point, this is G's. There's nothing he can do. Absolutely nothing. Even if he slides his rook out to, create some room for his king, then I would actually... Oh, you know what? He can actually get out of that. Never mind. Okay. Well, regardless, his back rank will be super weak. It's just going to be a very uncomfortable position for him to, be in. Trust me, you don't want to have your king in that position. Just, yeah. Anyways. Oh, man. The tunnel vision you get when you're just on assault mode, just trying to just tear down your opponent's walls. Man. Let me tell you. Comment below if you guys can relate. Anyways, but yeah, so long story short, I'm just going to be putting a lot of pressure onto on his king side. So he can basically still only has one move to respond. Other than that, he's going to really be at a threat for a checkmate. So, and he fortunately makes the correct, a push, which is pushing that pawn. That's the correct move, the only move, and he played it. So I decided to pull my bishop back. He's now creating a battery and really adding some defense to this pawn. Clearly does not like me and all my pieces pointing that way. Here, this was a complete blunder. Like, a second after I played this, I was like, okay, I just lost the game. Because if you guys can see, there's only one thing that he has to do in order to be automatically winning. And he misses it. Yeah, so all he had to do was push that pawn up and my bishop would have been trapped. So... at the same time, maybe he could have, opened a hole for his king, but it's not worth, with this amount of pieces defending his king anyways, it's not even worth, sacrificing a bishop. Especially with his position. Like, look at him right now. So, he's got, X-rays going on. He's got this bishop staring down a pretty strong diagonal, granted if his pawn was in the way. His rook has an open file. Meanwhile, my bishop is one move away from getting trapped. My queen is staring into a pawn chain. Both my rooks are staring into absolutely nothing. So even though his position looks kind of restricted, I would say black still has the better position. So moving forward, I'm trying to put some pressure onto this pawn over here. Next move, I'm gonna basically just bring my bishop back down this way and then have it stare over here. Now he's creating a battery. Decides to protect his pawn. Good move. Right here, this is where, I pretty much rubbed my face and just gave a disgusting, awesome look. Like, oh man, I just lost a piece. So, there's absolutely nothing I can do, but I'm about to lose that bishop. So, you know what? Let me just take a free pawn. Take my bishop, man. I don't even care at this point. I'm super demoralized. You guys know how it goes. I hate, when that happens, whenever you're at a pivotal game, you know what I mean? Something always happens, and then you just oh man, you just lose all hope. But stick around, you're gonna see how your boy JP perseveres. So I take that pawn. At this point in time, I really don't even have a plan anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing. He's just got way too much defense around this pawn, around this square. It's just there's just so many things going on. So I don't know. Now I got a double pawn column, so it's just not looking good for your boy. He decides to create a battery. I honestly don't know why, because even if he gets his pawn out the way, I still got two pieces defending this back rank. So I don't know what he was really trying to do there. But anyways, here I basically spent, I think, a whole 2 minutes deciding on what to do. Between me just being so pissed I lost my bishop, and then also trying to think of a plan to win the game somehow, I spent 2 minutes thinking. All of a sudden I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast and decided to not that move. I think, yeah, this is just an in-between move. Boom, right here. Pushing my pawn up from e5 to e6. Attacking his queen. He's got to be super careful when he puts his queen. Now I'm also marching a pawn up forward, a pass pawn. And I could be, threatening to create a second queen. I still have this pawn anchor over here. Just this simple little pawn, your weakest, most peasant little cannon fodder piece, just that simple move right there, got my spirits back up. I recharge. It's some movie or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's see how this unfolds. So anyways, He decides to pull his queen back. I push my pawn up. He's obviously got now 2 pieces attacking my pawn. I only have 1 defender, so now it's starting to. I'm a little bit stumped here. I don't know why. For some reason, I just felt like I should just have some support on my queen, and obviously, you know, get it to open file. Having a battery just felt like the right move. I'm honestly just winging it on a hope and a prayer right now. Takes my pawn. I take his. This right here, that wasn't a blunder. I did that on purpose. What's it called? I was just like, all right, he took my pawn. He's about to win another pawn. I gotta figure out something brilliant right here. Whenever you're in doubt, just ask yourself, what would Hikaru do? Or Gotham Chess, because your boy sacrificed the rook, which for some reason I just felt like was gonna be like a crucial move. I don't know. I had no follow-up plan afterwards. But he takes it. I take his bishop. Now, I'm only just 1 square away from checkmating his king with a lollipop mate. But the only thing that's restricting that is this stupid little tower over here. So, at this point in time, like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I really have I have no plan. I'm down a piece. All his pieces are active. He's about to win a pawn right now. Like, none of my pawns are connected. It's just looking bad for your boy. So, let's see what happens. He takes my pawn, and I just, you know, let me just get my rook and my queen on the same line. I have no idea. I'm just hoping that something happens for me. I wasn't really too worried about my king back here, even though it looks all lonely and scary. It's just I can move it over here to h2, and he wouldn't really have any other checks. I mean, he would have to pull his rook back up and then come back around like this way. So it's just, you know, not the most optimal, but still, I wasn't really too scared of that. But long story short, let's see here. So at this point, I have absolutely no idea what to do. Let's see what he does. Oh, he decides to lose the game. That's what he decides to do. So, for anyone that's somewhat decent at chess, if you're like at least 800 plus, calculate this because it's mate in 2. Rook takes. Take my rook, please. Checkmate. Yep. I was like light screaming after I won that game, called my girlfriend up, told her how excited I was because I should not have won that game. That's insane. As you can see, I got myself to 1309, got a cool little 8 points. Iman 789, GG's, man, you put up a huge fight. Shout out to you, brother. But yeah, he's actually the first 1300 player I've ever beat. When I got my 1300 the other day, it was just me beating like a 1280 or something like that. So yeah, guys, what's it called? Leave a comment, any advice, give your 2 cents. I'm not gonna tell you guys to like the video. Everybody says that. I don't think it ever works. You either like it or you don't. It's plain and simple. Until next time, peace.